Welcome. This is Gentle Yoga for Low Back Care. My name is Gail. I'm your teacher today. It's about 60 minutes class. You'll need a yoga block, a strap. Optional stuff is using a chair, a blanket, a non-stick surface, yoga mat, or a floor that's, not going to let you slip. If you don't have a strap or the block, you can use a long towel. You can use a couch pillow folded in half. Or, not do the gear at all. Just wait for the video when you finally have gear in your possession. This class, it's highly recommended to use gear for the class because it's a little bit more effective for this particular class, which again is for reducing challenges with the back. We do a lot of strengthening and stretching, and we do breathing, meditation, mindful movement, guided rest or relaxation. Anything weird, you don't like it, don't do it. That's, the kind of rule of thumb. Any class you take, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stand up, move this chair out of the way, come over to the chair to help me get down to the floor. Also, when we get to the guided rest and relaxation, I come back up to this kind of general area and I guide you through that and the gratitude practice. Okay, so again, this class is meant for beginners. Keep it between the easy and ouch. Once again, if it feels weird, you don't like it, don't do it. I also will cue from the chair postures you can do if you do not like to get down onto your hands and knees or onto the floor. So some of the stuff translates well, some of it does not. So just bear with me. All right, I'm going to squeeze my belly button really tight and bend my knees, hands on my chair. Step one foot way back, come down softly onto my best knee. And I have knee challenges too. And I kind of tip over. So again, I got my block and my strap close by. We're going to start out in constructive rest posture. So this is like a great pose to do lying in the bed, lying on the couch, to again further release tension held in the spine. Now I've got scoliosis, so this feels kind of odd in my body, so I have to make a few modifications. Ooh, I just felt my back pop. Okay, so for me, this feels spicy on the side that's closest to the camera here. So I'm going to take my hand, grab my wrist, and pull my back away from the floor and reposition it. I'm going to do the same with the other side because otherwise it's going to feel very strange in the body if I don't do that. Okay, so this is constructive rest pose. Feet on the floor, body laying on the back, knees bent. You're seated in the chair, feet, nice and firm onto the floor, and you're sitting up with tall postural muscles. We'll start with the breath. So hands can either rest comfortably on your low belly, kind of one hand above or below the belly button, or hands out to the side. We're just resting on the ribs. But what I'm trying to get you to notice is your belly expanding as you breathe in. Try to do the low belly and move it to the mid and upper belly and the chest. And as you exhale, everything kind of contracts towards the floor. So let's do that today. So let's breathe in, belly big, and then just kind of let your belly fall as you exhale or contract towards the back of the chair. And again, breathe in, let those shoulders relax, belly big. Exhale, belly button towards the spine. Now don't force it, just let it kind of naturally drop, contract, fall. Again, belly rising as you breathe in. Belly falling as you exhale. One more time. Breathe in, belly big. Breathe out, belly falling. Very good. We're going to do what's called the notice posture. So we kind of notice where our body is. There's a lot of body awareness in this class. So I'll extend one leg all the way down to the edge of the yoga mat. If you're seated in the chair, have your leg be straight, be on the back of the heel, and then do the same with the other side. You may not notice very much seated in the chair, but you definitely notice kind of where your body feels a little bit kind of constricted or tight when you lay flat on the floor. It may be very challenging. You may have to bend the knees, be on the back of the ankles to do this if you've got really, really tight hip flexors. So just again, kind of notice I've got lots of tension in the mid spine and hardly any of the back of my leg touches. So I'm hoping that will kind of release by the end of the class. So squeeze the belly button towards the spine as you bring one foot back onto the yoga mat. Bring the foot back into the chair, and then the other foot. Let's do knee to chest posture. You can use the strap along the bottom of the foot, back behind the knee, or just squeeze the belly button, lift the leg up, maybe grab your pant, and pull the knee in towards your chest. So what you're trying to notice is how much of the knee naturally comes towards your body. That's unnatural seated in the chair, but you'll kind of notice your definitely stop point. And notice if your leg goes into the hip crease, into the side waist, or into the low ribs. Maybe, maybe not. Just notice how that feels. Let's go ahead and get some ankle mobility here while we're in knee to chest posture by just kind of pumping the foot away, pointing and flexing the foot. Excuse me. This helps increase your ability to walk better, to have better balance by isolating that ankle joint to get some range of motion back going on there, strengthening it also. And let's do ankle circles. Notice if there's any like little snap, crackle, pop type of sensations going on when you do these ankle circles. And reverse. Ooh, I heard a big old snap right there. And then let the foot relax. From here, I'm going to go ahead and grab my yoga strap and place it along the bottom of my foot. And then this just kind of helps you bring the leg back if you have some challenges with that. Do this if you're seated in the chair. And you're going to extend that leg out into the air. Leg off the ground, you're seated in the chair. So again, you're going to notice where it kind of feels natural. Does it feel okay more towards your chest? Do your hamstrings kind of cry out to you? Mine are kind of going, ooh, super grabby feeling there. And flex your heel toes toward you to get that calf contracted just a little bit. And then everything, let it relax. And then with the next inhale breath, I invite you to bring the knee in towards the chest. And as you exhale, belly button tight, extend that leg out. Inhaling, knee into chest. Now, I like the strap because that allows me to bring that knee back in easily. Exhale, leg out. But you can do this without the strap also. As you bring the knee in towards the chest, breathe in. As you extend the leg, contract the belly button towards the spine. Activate the core. Woo. Inhaling, knee into chest. And exhaling. So keep moving, keep breathing as I talk here. So this helps to wake up the hip joint, the knee joint. You may be noticing some little noise happening in the knee joint, especially if you had any ACL, meniscus challenges in your past. So again, this once again helps with better balance. What's the word? Motion is lotion for the body. If you rest, you're going to rust. I know it just sounds kind of corny, but it kind of applies to what's going on with our bodies. Yeah. Two more. And then hug the knee in towards the chest. Let that foot just kind of relax there. Notice if there's more increased range of motion, if it feels warm in that hip musculature, and then release the foot down to the floor. We're going to do the other side. So squeeze the belly button towards the spine, lift the other foot off the yoga mat, and invite this knee in towards your chest. And you're going to notice, you're going to compare to the first side. Is this leg more comfortably, more in towards your body? Is it the same? Is it less? Is there more sensation? All these things to kind of go, I didn't really notice before, but now I'm kind of noticing this one feels maybe a little different, maybe not. And let's point and flex the ankle. Point and flex the foot. I guess the ankle can't point and flex, can it? No. But I think you know what I'm talking about, yeah? Ooh, this side is stiff, stiff, stiff. So I've had surgery on this foot, and so it makes sense to me why it would be a little bit more stiff than the other. And then ankle circles, kind of feel that crinkly stuff happening or not. And then again, if there's noise when you do these. And let's reverse, go the other direction. Oof. And don't forget to breathe. Well, the shin and the ankle area is getting quite warmed up here. And then let that relax a little bit. So again, if you're going to use the strap on the next portion, this is the time to employ the strap. I put it at the bottom of my foot, and then we're going to extend the leg out. So again, leg is off the ground. If you're seated on the chair, use the strap definitely for that. And here, just kind of notice, okay, mine's more towards the floor this time, but I'm going to try to invite it towards my nose. And this side doesn't feel as grabby, as not as much sensation on the hamstring, back of the leg, into the hip flexor, compared to my other side. So again, yours may be different, probably is, but if you have back challenges, you're probably definitely noticing some differences, one side of the body versus the other. Okay, now we're going to add some movement here. So I'm going to bring the leg a little bit more away so it'll kind of bend in towards my chest a little bit easier. So first, breathe in, knee in towards the chest, and contract that belly button, extend that leg out. I'm going to not use a strap on this side. Inhale, knee into chest. Exhaling, leg out. So I feel a little bit less control with my leg without the strap. It's something I just noticed. Knee into chest, breathe in. Exhale, leg out. Not that it's bad or good, it's just a different feeling as opposed to strap along the bottom of the foot. So I feel like I can kind of direct it a little bit easier with the strap. That's okay. I'm just kind of doing freestyle here today. Whew. Again, you're noticing if there's any crinkly noises, little snap, crackle, pops in the knees, in the hips. You're feeling some challenges going on with the stuff that you live with, your body. Yeah. Let's do one more. Knee in towards the chest and just kind of let it hang out here just for a moment. Again, you're noticing if it is more towards your body, if the hip musculature, if the knees, the little sensation of warmth going on. Very good. And release this foot down to the floor. Since we have the feet on the floor, let's just kind of do some stomping here. Contract the belly button. So kind of stomp the feet. That's for lymphatic drainage. Or your feet can stay on the ground and you wiggle the legs side to side. That works too. So we have a lot of lymph nodes, and the only way they get rid of their toxins through your system is with movement. So we're intentionally doing this. Helps us with body pain also. And then let's stop. Let's go ahead and do the notice posture. So extend one leg. Ooh, it's already feeling a little bit less tense. And then extend the other. And you can kind of move your shoulders, move your hips, move your legs, wiggle. And again, just kind of notice the surface that's supporting you. Notice the sensation of where your body is touching what supports. Very good. All right. So we're going to do one of the alignment exercises. It's called letter T arms, overhead extensions, squeezing the block, and we use that golfer's grip. We're going to take the hand, fold it into the pad of the hand, and then have the thumb sticking out like a hitchhiker thumb. And I can't quite get my fingers down, but that's okay. It's a work in progress. And I'm going to find where my yoga block is and place it in between the inside of the legs. Let me move my strap out of the way. That super long strap then I'm going to walk my feet towards my behind. So here's my block. It's in between my legs. And I'm going to walk my feet kind of in to where I hear a constant, consistent squeeze going on with the inner thighs. And then I'm going to take my hands and fold the fingers into the pads, both of them, and then I turn my thumbs towards the center of my body. This is whether your hands are in front of your chest, whether you're seated in the chair, whether you're lying on your back. Then I bend my elbows to where if someone was looking down on me, I'd look like a half of a letter T. Because the arms aren't out all the way down to the ground. I've got them kind of parallel to the floor if you're seated, and then kind of sticking up here in the air, lying here on the ground. So what we'll do, whether you're seated in the chair, lying on your back, you're going to squeeze your shoulders towards your spine or press your shoulders into the ground and release. Now keep that constant squeeze going on with the block. I'm going to walk my feet in just a little bit more. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Let's do two more. Squeeze and release. And one more. Squeeze, 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 and release the shoulders. Bring the hands in front of your chest. Clap the hands softly. And let's rub the palms. Get some circulation. because holding those fingers into the pads is not an easy task, but it keeps things nice and activated and aligned. Now, what we're going to do here is stop the rubbing and interlace the fingers, make the arms super straight. If you're laying here on your back, you want to have your back of your shoulders back down to the floor and do the best you can here seated in the chair. Now, squeeze that belly button towards your spine. Squeeze the block. Make sure your elbows look the same. My right one likes to turn out, so I have to, kind of position it. And then we're going to bring the arms up slowly and overhead. Squeeze those palms, belly button tight. You may have a shoulder that's kind of challenging. It will keep you from going too far, too deep. And just kind of naturally stop at a place that feels comfortable for you. Kind of make note, okay, where are my arms in relation to where my face is? So this is like in front of me with the arms right here in front of the sides of my cheekbones. From here, tight, 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 belly button towards your spine. Bring the hands slowly back in front of your chest. Now, this is slow, very deliberate. Woo! And then release the hands, clap the hands, softly rub into the palms. And then fold the fingers into the pads. It may be easier this time. Thumbs towards the center, bend the elbows. All right, back of the arms onto the floor. Got these parallel arms to the ground if you're seated in the chair. Again, press the shoulders, squeeze the block if you forgot, and release. Keep squeezing the block though. Squeeze the shoulders and release. 3 more times. Squeeze and release. 2 more. Squeeze and release. And last one. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Very nice. Bring the hands in front of your chest. Softly clap the palms and rub those palms. Move it into the fingers, that rubbing. And then once again, fold the fingers into the pads, turn the thumbs towards the center. I'm going to wiggle my shoulders a little bit. And then belly button tight, bring the back of the arms. Very good, into a half of a letter T. Now let's squeeze into the floor, squeeze the shoulders towards the spine and release. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze and release. Squeeze that block. Ooh, I forgot the block. Squeeze the block and the shoulders and release. 2 more. Squeeze, 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 and release. 1 more. Here we go. Squeeze, release. And then let go of the hands. Clap the hands. Rub the hands. Get that circulation going back on. All right. Interlace the fingers. Squeeze the palms. Shoulders down. Super straight arms. Squeeze that belly button towards the spine slowly. Bring the arms up and overhead. Boom, touching that block. All right, very good. I'm wiggling my thumb, see if I can touch the floor. One of my thumbs can, but not the other. Oh, there it goes. And again, I'm trying to keep my arms super straight. And again, not trying to do something that's going to hurt me later on, but being very kind. Squeeze that belly button as you bring the arms back to in front of your chest. There's a little core challenge here going on, if you haven't noticed. And then once again, release the hands, clap the hands. Rub, rub, rub. Get that heat going on. Very nice. All right, take the block out to the side just for a moment, and I invite you to do the notice posture right now. So go ahead and extend the leg and extend the other one. If you need to move your upper back, your hips, your arms a little bit, please do so. And again, just kind of notice the surface beneath you. All right, you should be noticing a little bit of subtle difference from the first time that we did this. Squeeze the belly button towards the spine. Put the foot back onto the yoga mat, then the other. So I think we did this last week, but it's worth repeating. Let me see what's back behind me. I'm going to scoot down on my yoga mat. We're going to do oppositional reach, whether you're seated in a chair, whether you're laying on your back. To begin with, we have both feet on the yoga mat, knees bent. We're going to take the left foot off the yoga mat and kind of bring it, knee in towards the chest. If you're seated, do the best you can. You kind of got like a right angle going on with the thigh, the knee, the calf, yeah? And then you take the opposite hand, the right hand, pointed towards the sky, and then bring it back behind you, since we just did that shoulder opener, yeah? The range of motion of the shoulder. So this is your oppositional reach. You may notice some back muscles being active. And then bring everything back on down. Very good. So left leg, foot off the yoga mat. Right leg, sorry. And then left arm up towards the sky. And then if you can, arm back behind you. Again, it may be different. It may be more up elevated off the ground. That's okay. Do what you can with what you got today. And then lower it back down. Let's do it again. The other side, opposite hand and knee, up, 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 overhead. Very good. Bring it back on down, belly button tight. Other side, opposite arm and knee up, overhead. Woo. And there you go. Now, if you want to keep doing that, you're doing the same thing seated in the chair. Opposite arm and leg up, up, opposite arm and leg up. But if you're lying on your back, maybe you have the legs be straight. Maybe, maybe not. It's okay if you want to go back to bent knees. We'll try it again. So opposite leg comes off the ground and you bend the knee and the opposite arm comes up at the same time. And then squeeze that belly button, lower the arm and leg back on down with a long leg if you can. Okay, try it. Okay, other one. Opposite arm and leg come up, up, overhead. Not the leg overhead, but the arm overhead. And then go ahead and extend them all the way down. Okay, other side, one more time. Each side. So we lubricated those hips with that one movement, knee to chest pose. So hopefully everything's kind of nice and warmed up. Other side, and release. Beautiful. All right, both feet on the yoga mat. We're going to roll over onto our side body, lift up and roll over onto your side. Come up to a tall seated place. Now I mentioned earlier about getting a big towel or a yoga blanket. That's for if you feel super tight sitting on your behind on the floor. This helps facilitate the hips kind of tilting forward, or you can go ahead and transfer to the seat of the chair. So I'm going to kind of scoop my booty onto the edge of the blanket, and then I kind of curve when I sit on the ground. So I like the blanket because that kind of opens up my chest, and it feels like I can breathe easier. You can also use yoga block if your hips feel super tight. This is where it's good to have 2 yoga blocks, and you can kind of rest them easily on the blocks. Some folks have those Pilates balls or those Gurdy balls or yoga balls. You can use those also for supporting the legs. So whatever you got, that's what you use. Yeah. Okay. I like the Pilates balls because they're a little bit softer than those little yard balls. From here, we're going to do the unsupported twist. So other yoga classes, it may have you take a hand or an opposite arm or leg and then twist your body. For back yoga, we don't do that. We do unsupported twists. So that's a supported twist because you're cranking into a twist. So we're going to go back and squeeze the shoulders. So we have these letter W arms going on. So again, you're kind of activating the musculature going up and down the spine here. So kind of contract the shoulders towards one another. Very good. Look to see what leg is in the front or choose a leg, because basically we're going to breathe in, belly big, contract the belly button, turn towards one side. So I turn towards the side that's in front. That's just how I kind of remember it. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale back to the center. Re-squeeze the shoulders. Breathe in, belly big. Let's go over to the other side. Contract the belly button as you exhale. Notice if you twist more, one side versus the other. Good. Breathe in, belly big. Exhale back to the center. Release the arms, release the shoulders. From here, we're going to go into cat-cow. So if you want to do cat-cow, you don't want to be on your hands and knees, that's good to do it seated. Otherwise, I'm going to teach the flowy cat-cow. Now, here's another reason I like that yoga blanket is I want to have a little extra cushion for that. You can either fold up your yoga mat for a little extra cushion or just, kind of open up your towel to where your knees are going to be. So I'm going to come onto the yoga mat with my knees on the yoga blanket. Yay. So flowy cat-cow is different from traditional cat-cow. Traditional cat-cow is, you curve your spine to the top of the room, belly button tight, and then belly relaxed, and your tailbone kind of flares out. So if you have lordosis or kyphosis, those doing that traditional cat-cow further accentuates those transition areas in your spine, which is not a good thing. So flowy cat-cow is a little bit gentler, but you still get the extension and flexion of the spine. And it's okay seated in the chair. You're going to do as best you can there. So you slide your hands forward. And so you're not aligned underneath the shoulders anymore. And you come down to the forearms. Booty is sticking up in the air. So I walk my elbow about an inch or so towards my knees, and I curl my toes when I do this, but you can do tops of the feet. And I open up my shoulders, make my arms just a little bit more wide. Sink my behind towards my heels. I get this traction feeling going on from my behind to my shoulders. You may notice that too. From here, let's inhale and then drag your nose up in between your forearms and your belly is soft. Once you get your nose to about in alignment with your wrist, you're going to contract your belly button and then peel your forearms off the yoga mat. Continue that movement forward and then curve your spine to the top of the room as you move your behind back towards your heels. Lay your forearms on the yoga mat. Let's do that again. Breathe in, transition forward. Contract that belly button. Once you start peeling those forearms off, curve your spine to the back of the room. Again, inhaling, belly forward, belly soft. Try to keep the arms in alignment with each other. Don't have the elbows flaring out to the side. Little bicep, tricep action going on there also. Here we go. Breathe in, drag it forward. Exhale, belly button super, super tight, contracted. One more time. Inhaling, come forward. And exhaling. Next is locust pose. You're seated in the chair. You're going to scooch to the edge of the chair and have your hands grab the back spokes of the chair. For laying, if you're able to lay on your belly, well, we're going to do that. So come down to your torso. You may feel that your hamstrings are super tight. You may notice that you may have to kind of roll the hip point up and off a little bit, and then the other side. So supported back bend is here, forearms on the yoga mat. So your chest lifted, and you're not doing much back work at this point. But if you want to super engage those back muscles, which, is one of the things we want to do for lessening back pain, strengthen that stuff, get things kind of more even, then you can do baby cobra. Baby cobra is where you take the hands and you kind of place them where my elbows are, right here underneath the shoulders. Bring your chest on down to the floor so you can have your nose looking at the floor. There's a little bit of back activation here with the elbows kind of up by the side. But if you want to make it a little bit more activation of the muscles, then you kind of push yourself up to where your chest is off the floor. Now, how can you tell if it's your arms doing the work or your back? Well, release the hands from the floor. Woo! Your heart rate will kick up a notch when you do that. And I've got my shins off the ground too. And then release. Hands at the top of the yoga mat. Turn your head to the side. See if you can get that range of motion in the neck. Turn your head to the side if you're seated on the chair. When you're seated on the chair, you're going to walk the hands up the back of the chair as you squeeze the shoulders to do it's called a chest expansion, but it's basically a seated back bend. And then bring your head back to heart center. Now, if you want to do another variation, it's called locust. You can do this with your hands or with the yoga strap. So if you're going to do the yoga strap, you place it right here on your booty and you grab, about your hip distance apart and walk those hands towards one another. And you make the arms super straight. You can do this with the strap, with the seated on the chair also. So you walk your hands as close as you can, comfortably, of course, and you bring the arms away from the body. Option, lift the shins, lift the chest. Nose looking at the floor. You can also do this with interlaced hands or clasped hands instead. And release. Now we're going to come up off the ground, so hands come back underneath the shoulders. Curl the toes, squeeze the belly button. Don't even think about it. Just think about, I'm going to straighten the arms, bring my body up. Do what you can with what you got, right? And then shift back. We're going to come up to standing. I don't have my chair close by today, so I'm going to use the block to help me get up off the ground today. So I'm going to make it the medium height. I'm going to take a foot up in between my hands, and then I shift my body forward a bit, curl that back toe, lift that back knee. Now with that forward knee, the knee is nicely bent, I'm going to take the back leg, kind of hop walk it towards my other leg, move my strap out of the leg, hands on the hips and hinge on up. Whew. Sometimes we can feel a little dizzy when we come up off the ground, so hands to your chest, chin to your chest, feet a little wide. Breathe in, breathe out. Gather that breath just for a moment. Breathing in, breathing out. Very good. One more time, inhaling and exhaling. Okay, so we used that golfer's grip before, right? We folded the fingers into the pads of the hands. We had the top of the hands aligned with the forearms. We're going to do arm circles, whether you're seated on the chair, whether you're standing. So we normally have done that with the warrior two posture, but we're going to do it in the postural alignment methodology. So what you have to do is think about your feet first. So to think about your feet, we have them pointed towards 12 o'clock, whether you're seated on the chair, whether you're standing. And you're really going to push the feet into the floor. So you're just not standing here. You're doing this with intention. So you're pushing down, and then think about there's a wrinkle in your yoga mat. You don't like wrinkles. We don't like wrinkles. So we're pushing down and then pushing the legs opposite directions. So you're really getting into hip musculature. So this helps with postural alignment. Then we're going to take those hands, fold the fingers into the pads of the hands, and then go back to that letter W, arms, whether you're seated, whether you're standing. Feet firm into the floor, pushing away, smoothing the wrinkle. Very good. Now with the squeeze of the shoulders, bring those arms somewhat into a T. Now it can be parallel to your shoulders or to the floor or a little bit lower. Thumbs are going to point towards the front of the room, and I would invite you to draw circles in front of you and back behind you with a super squeezy shoulder. Eventually you're going, okay, this is okay. Well, maybe you just do one at a time. That works too, okay? And then you just speed it up a little bit with the firm feet into the ground. There's this little movement going on from the upper body, lower body. Squeeze those shoulders. Again, this is for lessening back pain. You got to strengthen upper back, low back, mid back. Often where your pain is not where the problem is. So just kind of know that. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Now release, relax everything. Kind of move your body a little bit, shake your body. Feels weird, but do it anyway. And if you need to move your feet from that position, please do so and reset, because we've got to do the other direction. So again, firm feet into the floor. Make those toes, for the most part, point towards 12 o'clock. Press down, press outwardly towards the edges of the room. Re-squeeze the shoulders. Do those golfer grip hands. Before we had the thumbs forward. This time, arms letter T. Thumbs up, thumbs back behind you. Ooh, feels a little different. Re-squeeze the feet into the ground. Good. And then draw your circle behind you and then forward. It might be a little bit easier. It might be a little bit more difficult. Again, do what you can with what you got today. Woo! Shoulders may be tired. Breathe. Move. Feet firm. Squeezy shoulders. Arm circles. Good, bad, something in between. Who knows? 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. Move your body side to side here. A little step touch here. Get some movement going on here. Okay. Making you do stuff that you don't normally do, that's okay. You can get out of your little box, all right? That's all right, isn't it? Okay, one more time. Well, actually not one more time, but a little different here. We're going to interlace the hands and then push the palms away. Try to keep those interlaced fingers. I lose my top ones. That's okay. And, rethink about the feet. Push down, push away. Now, with super straight arms, whether you're seated or standing, we're going to bring the arms in front of our eyes. Try to do those straight arms. Do the best you can. Bring them up with the top of the head. Bring them a little bit more. And then go to wherever you can here. And wherever your can is, push the palms away. Lengthen up towards the sky. Super straight legs. Maybe a little bend if you need to, but super firm feet into the floor. I say super a lot, don't I? I sure do. And then bring it back in front of you and release the hands, release the legs. Let's go into warrior 2 and then reverse warrior because we haven't done our side lateral movement yet. If you're seated in the chair, I'm just going to go ahead and step your feet wide, turn toes towards the short end of the yoga mat. If you're seated, you take a foot out to the side. I kind of scooch over to that side. I have one knee pointed one direction, one knee the other. I don't allow the knees to drop in. I push them away, and I turn my torso out and over the leg that's facing the front of the room. I feel that little inner thigh business going on. Feet firm into the floor, whether you're standing, whether you're seated. Make it active. Just because you're in a chair doesn't mean it's easy, okay? You can make it very vigorous. Bend the knee, check to see your toes are aligned with your knee. Very good. See if your hips are kind of parallel in a line with the long end of the yoga mat. Now, sometimes we have a little twist going on here. That's okay, but not like have the whole body twisted towards that bent knee. So if that's doing that, invite your ribs to come towards the front of the room. Very good. Okay. Whew. Feet firm. Again, there's a wrinkle. Smooth out your wrinkle, whether you're seated, whether you're standing. Get into that hip musculature. This is a bone building exercise. Arms out into a letter T. Again, if you want to use a hand on the chair, that's cool with me. And I will invite you to squeeze the shoulders here. Now we're going to move a little bit with this. Your feet are going to stay the same if you're seated in the chair. But those of us standing, let's inhale, bring the hands to heart center, straighten that leg. And then exhale, belly button tight, arms out into a letter T. Re-squeeze the shoulders. Inhale, hands to heart center, softly straighten that leg. Exhale, bend the knee, arms letter T, re-squeeze the shoulders. Maybe you bend the knee a little bit more because you know you're not staying in the pose. Maybe not. Hands back to heart center, breathe in. And then exhale, arms letter T. Very good. With the hand that's over the leg that turned out to the side, that bent knee side, palm up, reach out, bend that knee a little bit more, and then bring the arm up into the air. Hand it either on the chair, on the hip, down the leg for that side lateral flexion. The reverse warrior, knee bent. Your leg's probably feeling it here. I'm going to hang on to the chair. Then float the arm down, straighten that leg, pivot the foot, walk it in. We're going to go over to the other side. So bring the knees back to the center, step the other leg out, torso over the leg that's in front. Those of us standing, feet wide. Lift the heel, turn the foot, bend the knee. And heel toe out a little bit. Again, make sure knee, you can see a toe or so peeking out from that bent knee. Firm feet into the floor, re-squeeze the shoulders, arms letter T, very good. We'll do that same type of sequence where we inhale, bring it back to the center, but this time, if we can, arms overhead. Ooh, okay. Feet firm to the floor, inhaling, arms up, straighten that leg, exhale, bend that knee, arms letter T. Again, inhaling up, 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 up. Exhale. Re-squeeze the shoulders, feet firm into the floor. Again, inhaling up. Exhaling. We got one more. Here we go. Feet firm. Here we go. Inhaling up. Reach, 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 reach. Exhale. Arms letter T. We're going to turn that palm up over that short end of the yoga mat. Reach a little bit more. Bring the arm into the air. Hand on the hip. Very good. Very good. And then release the arm down. Straighten that leg. Pivot the foot. Okay. From here, we're going to do a variation of Warrior 1. If you're seated on the chair, you're going to turn to one end of your chair and bring a leg back. And then basically you're going to squeeze the behind, push those toes, push the feet firmly into the floor. Arms can go up. If you're standing, you can either come to the short end of the yoga mat, or if you have the chair here, you would come up to the short end of the yoga mat, step the one foot way back, bend the forward knee, push that back heel, and then arms up. Now we don't step it too far back. If it's way back, then that heel is lifted. So there's this little wiggling of the feet that's going on because it's in a different position as opposed to Warrior 2. So back bend also. and then release. Step that back foot forward, shift over to the other side of the chair to do the other side. You know what? I'm going to go over to the other side of the chair and step the other foot back, enough to where I can lay down on that back heel as I bend that forward knee. If you're doing this again, the short end of the yoga mat, stepping that foot back, bend that forward knee, arms up. Arms wherever you can put them. Try not to lean forward. Try to have the shoulders over the hips, that knee bent. Very good, very good. And release. Excellent. Let's do that movement meditation. We're going to do it 2 times and then go into chair pose. Again, come back to seated on a chair. Come back to standing on your yoga mat. Feet at 12 o'clock. And we'll just bring the arms out to the side, palms facing forward. From here, let's inhale, gather the arms in front of our legs. Exhale, raise them up to shoulder height. Inhale, open outwards. Exhale, contract those arms inward. Inhale, flow it towards your chest. Exhale, flow forward. Inhale, let's descend. Exhale, disperse out. Let's do that again. Inhale, gather in. Exhale, rise. Inhale, open up. Exhaling, contract inwards. Inhale, flow towards the chest. Exhale, flow forward. Inhale, let's descend. Exhale, disperse out. Inhaling, pushing feet firm into the floor, circle, sweep arms up. Exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows. Press firmly into the floor, whether you're standing or seated. Inhaling, circle, sweep arms up. Exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows. One more time. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. This time, hands to heart center. If you're seated in the chair and want to stay there, please do. If you're wanting to come down to the yoga mat, just come up to the top of your yoga mat and we'll do a half of a sun salutation to the floor. So I'm up here at the top of my yoga mat. Let me move my chair out of the way. And I'm close to the wall, so I'm more on the edge of my yoga mat. So, you probably need to be on the yoga mat. Just make sure you're not going to hit anything with your arms. We're going to inhale, circle, sweep the arms out to the side. And as we exhale, we bend the knees, arms out to the side, and from the hips, we tip over into forward fold. Now you can have hands on the thighs, or you can have elbows on the thighs, or elbows off, belly on the thighs, top of the head points down. For monkey left, hands underneath the shins, straighten the arms, look forward with your eyes, belly button tight. Option, straighten one leg and then bend that knee. Other option, straighten the other leg, bend that knee. And then from here, bend both knees, hands on either side of the feet. Step one foot way back. And again, I like to come over and tip over. So I'm going to tip over. Let's come onto our back. Grab your yoga block. We'll do the block bridge pose. So next week, we'll do the piriformis bounce and the pigeon. We did a few different things today, but it's all kind of part of the equation for yoga postures for easing challenges. Put your block at the very back of the chair. It won't be as effective. Try this on the couch in the bed to kind of feel what we're feeling here on the floor. So I'm walking my feet towards my behind. I'm going to push into the floor, raise up, lay my behind on the block, and then I kind of walk my shoulders away here. Very good. And then from here, just kind of notice the pressure here, being here. There's a traction feeling from the behind to the shoulders. And squeeze the belly button. If you can, raise a leg up off the ground and shake that leg. And then wiggle that leg and shake it again. And then bring it down. Let's do the other side. So bring the other leg up, shake the leg, wiggle the leg. Now feet can be on the floor while you wiggle your legs, shake your legs if you're seated in the chair. Now if you want to, grab your yoga block, bring the other leg up and shake both. Wiggle both. Shake and wiggle. And then very slowly bring one foot down, then the other. Press into the floor, raise up, peel, take that yoga block out, roll your spine down. Notice how that feels. And then let's do the notice posture. Extend one leg, then the other. Just notice how maybe you feel a little bit more connected to the floor, maybe not. And this is the part where we go into the guided rest and relaxation. You can stay right here or go to a more comfortable place as I come up to the room and start us on that little journey. So I invite you to get comfortable. Legs may be extended, knees may be bent. You may be having the legs on the chair, on the couch. You may be seated comfortably in a chair. So again, wherever you are, just get comfortable. From here, I want you to notice your breath. Just notice that you're breathing. Don't change it in any way. Just notice. What does it feel like here to breathe in? And what does it feel like here to breathe out? As you inhale, notice the places of your body that are moving as you inhale and as you exhale. From here, we'll do a little body scan. I'll just ask you to pay attention to my voice. And if I name places in the body, shift your attention to those different places, and then we'll swiftly move on to the next place. So this helps us to kind of reduce the mind chatter, lessen anxiety, and to kind of get connected back with your body. So I invite you to notice the top of your head, the back of your head, your shoulders, the back side of your body, your behind, your right leg, your left leg, the sole of your right foot, the sole of your left foot, the right shin, the left shin, the right upper leg, the left upper leg. Once again, shifting your attention, all of your awareness to the places that I name in the body. Your right hip, your left hip, your lower abdominals, navel center, upper abdominals, your right rib cage, your left rib cage, your right chest, your left chest, your heart center, right collarbone, left collarbone, right shoulder, left shoulder, your entire right arm, your entire left arm. Now let's shift our attention to the front of our neck, the right side of our neck, the left side of our neck, our jawline, chin, lower lip, upper lip, right cheekbone, left cheekbone, the very tip of the nose, the very top of the nose, right eye, left eye, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, the space between the eyebrows, right ear, left ear, the forehead. Just notice the places in your body that feel that support, the places where you're in contact with the floor, with the chair, with the couch. Notice that sensation of support there. Now, flip your attention to the front places in your body. It should feel a little bit lighter there compared to the places that are supported by the surface beneath us. Good. Now, the places where our body is touching the surface that support us, notice how heavy the body feels, as heavy as a rock. You're just grounded, heavy, into the surface that's supporting you. Now, flip that to the front places in the body. Notice the air coming across the skin. Notice the clothing draped on the body. Notice the sensation of feeling lighter in the front places of the body compared to the supported places in the body. Good. Go back to noticing your breathing. Again, don't change your breath in any way. Just notice the places that are moving as you breathe in and as you breathe out. Again, breathing in, let's make that belly get big. And then breathing out. Beautiful. I invite you now to come back into the now, back into the present moment. So let's just make some movement with the fingers, with the wrists. If your legs are on the chair, your knees are bent, I invite you to slowly move them to a place where you can roll over onto your side and then slowly, slowly push yourself to a tall seated place or stay where you are if need be. Good. Once you're there, just drop your chin towards your chest. That's for if you feel a little dizzy when you come up off the ground to a vertical position. Just a few breaths there. And then bring your head to look forward. Again, whether you're seated in the chair, on the couch, or on the floor. So let's just kind of open up the side body here a little bit with a little bit of upper body movement. So spread out your hands like a little starfish, just one hand, and then place your hand out to the side and turn your thumb to the top of the room. So your little bicep, tricep action here. With your head, drop the opposite ear towards your shoulder and then lift your chin. So this opens up the carotid, brings more blood flow into the brain. So that's good stuff. And release. You may have noticed some sensation going on down the arm a little bit. Let's do the other side. Spread out the hands, push the hand away, and then turn the thumb to the back of the room. Then drop that opposite ear towards your shoulder and then lift the chin. Very good, very good. And release. Let's notice a little bit of range of motion in our necks with the hands together. You can hook the thumbs if you like, or just do hands together. Hands to the center and push hands to one direction and then gently turn your chin the opposite direction. You're just noticing what you notice here. And we're pushing into those palms. And then inhale, bring it back to the center. And then exhale, push the other direction. Notice if this side turns a little bit more than the other, or maybe a little bit more stiff. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, push the other direction. Inhaling back to the center. Exhale the other direction. Very good. And then inhale back to the center. So a little meridian work, a little energy work. So inside of the web of the hand, when you stimulate that or pinch that, that helps to lessen headaches, tension in the head. So we're going to do that with a tap. So we're going to take our hands and tap into that webbed area. Don't go vigorous, but just, notice this here. And again, if you had a little headache when you came into the class, this oftentimes will help ease that away. And just notice which thumb is on top, and let's pause and switch. Put the other thumb on top. That's usually like very challenging for the brain because it feels weird because that's not your normal way to do this. So little dementia prevention here with the energy work, and I love it. And release. Now we're going to take the webbings of the inner fingers. So this is for neck, shoulder, back pain. Go in between. Now if you got rings, be careful and tap. Mine are noisy. Tap on the insides of the tunnels of the fingers, yeah? And here comes the weird thing. We're going to pause, see what finger's on top, switch it to the other one being on top. Oh, that's very strange, right? And tap. Again, for neck, shoulder, back pain, this helps with that too. Other energy work that we can do is to cup the hand, bring the arm, hug it into your ribs, and with a cupped hand, tap on top of the other palm or hand. Not hard, but a nice little cupping kind of motion. You can move it to the wrist. Again, this is additionally for back, neck, shoulder issues. Let's do the other side. Cup the hand, hug that arm into the ribs, and tap. Don't be too vigorous. Move it to the wrists. Very good. And to increase our T cell production, which if you're vintage like I am, you kind of lose it after the age of 30. We've got the thymus here. It's about 2 inches below where the collarbone is. So you take your fingers and tap into that area to stimulate T cell production. Again, we need that during this cold and flu season. A little immunity support here with the thymus thump. And I'm sure you all have heard about the vagus nerve, the lymph nodes. We're going to do a little lymphatic drainage next. We're going to take our peace fingers, find our collarbone, and then above the collarbone, just kind of rub into that soft area. Now I'm going to do kind of cross my arms across because it's a little bit easier than doing same side arms for me. So do it to everyone feels okay. Now we're not doing this too hard. So it's just a nice little kind of rub and tug here. Do the same thing with the fingers, with the sides of the necks, lots of lymph nodes here. So again, we're allowing the stuff that accumulates to discharge. And then the front of the neck. And to get a little bit more brain activity, we're going to take the fingertips and tap, tap, tap. Very good. Bring the hands together, clap, rub those palms once again. Get some heat, some circulation into the palms. And let's just place these either on heart center or hands together at heart center. And let's do our gratitude practice. So let's think about one thing that we're grateful for today. Or maybe it's an idea of gratitude. It could be maybe the place where you laid your head down at night or the meals that you eat. Maybe it's your friends, your family. Again, either an idea of gratitude or something that you're actually grateful for. And I invite you to drop your chin towards your heart center and bring whatever that is into your heart center. Very good. You can keep your chin towards your chest or have your eyes gaze forward as I say our ending sayings for our class today. So the light in me honors and respects the light in you. So let's take the peace, the strength, and the understanding, that little attitude of gratitude, and let's pass it on. Namaste, which means the bright light in me honors and respects the bright light in you. This concludes our practice of gentle yoga for low back care. Thank you.